Hello students, welcome to science class. Now, today we will start the same chapter, Animal World, and we will continue with the next topics. I will explain you about the feeding habits today. You can open page 125 in your book if you want to have a reading side by side. Now, feeding habits. There are different feeding habits of animals. Some animals eat plants and some eat flesh, whereas some animals eat both of the things, plants as well as the flesh of other animals. So, on the basis of feeding habits, we have categorized animals into three categories: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. What are herbivores animals? Herbivores or herbivorous animals are those animals that eat only plants like cow, goat, giraffe. These are herbivores. They have sharp front teeth which is the incisors to cut the parts of plant, and large and flat back teeth like the premolars and molars to grind the food. So, a cow, deer, giraffe, goats, they feed on grass and other plants. Second is animals that eat flesh of other animals are called carnivores or carnivorous animals like lion, tiger, wolf. These are some of the carnivores which are totally dependent on flesh. They don't eat plant or plant parts. They have very sharp, pointed, and curved front teeth, means their canines are very sharp. Why? To tear the flesh, and strong back teeth, which is the premolars and molars, to chew flesh and bones. Some flesh eating birds are also there, like eagles, kites, and vultures. They have sharp and hooked beaks. Now, they are not having teeth, they are having hooked beaks, which work just similar to the teeth only, but they are having hooked beaks to tear the flesh. They also have strong claws to catch the prey. If you must have seen an eagle, it is having very sharp claws to catch hold of the prey. Prey means shikar. Now, third type is omnivores or omnivorous animals. Animals that eat both plants and animals are called omnivores or omnivorous animals. Don't write omnivore animals. Either write omnivores or write omnivorous animals. Okay? So, example of this type is bears and crows. Sometimes they eat even the plant parts also, like sometimes you have seen that a crow feeds on chapati also. We used to keep chapati, and crow comes and eats the chapati also, and sometimes the crow eats flesh also. Similarly, bear eats fish also and feeds on fruits and berries from the jungle. That's why they are omnivores. So we have discussed about omnivores, herbivores, and carnivores. These are very important. You have to learn the definitions along with at least two examples of each. Now, do you know small herbivores or rodents such as the rabbit, rats, and squirrels? They gnaw seeds and fruits. They have small and sharp front teeth. This is just a fact. Now, the next topic is organs for breathing, page 126. Animals need to breathe to get oxygen for respiration. We all know that we need to breathe, or we need to take up air so that we can live. This process is respiration. Oxygen helps to release energy in the body for all the activities. Animals take oxygen from their surroundings like air and water. Different animals breathe through different organs. Tiny organisms like paramecium and amoeba, they breathe through their body surface. if you can see in this image, this is amoeba. These are very tiny microorganisms which you cannot see with your eyes. They can only be seen under a microscope. Okay, so they breathe through their body surface. Now, insects like cockroach, they have tiny air holes along the sides of their bodies. These holes are called as spiracles. This is a very important term, and you always have to keep this in mind, that what are spiracles. Spiracles are the tiny holes present on the sides of the body on insects, bodies of insects, not on the animals, only on insects. The air that enters through spiracles reaches all the parts of the body through small tubes called breathing tubes. Now, insects like grasshopper, cockroach, butterfly, they have tiny holes on their sides of the body. They have a main body, they have tiny holes, and these are called as spiracles. Inside of their body, these spiracles connect to each other through breathing tubes, through which the air transfers and a fine network is formed, and they reach each and every tissue of the body. Oxygen is absorbed by these body tissues, and carbon dioxide is expelled out from the same hole, which is the spiracle. Insects do not have hemoglobin, which can carry oxygen to different parts of their body. These type of insects, they are not having blood just like we are having, so they are not having hemoglobin in their body to carry oxygen. In human beings, we are having blood, and you all know that blood is a carrier of hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is a carrier of oxygen. That's why whenever we breathe, oxygen is carried away to our lungs with the help of hemoglobin. Now, aquatic animals like fish, prawn, and crab, they breathe with the help of gills. Learn these examples, because this might confuse you, that which animals breathe through gills and which water animals breathe with their moist skin. This question can come in exam. So fish, prawn, and crab, they breathe with the help of gills. You all know that fish have gills, and how do these gills work? When these water animals, they can breathe with the help of gills. Gills help in absorbing oxygen dissolved in the water. Means these are water animals, they always have to remain in water, and you know the formula of water is H2O, means water is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, so this is the formula of water. So how do they breathe? They take in oxygen from the water only with the help of gills. Okay, now an adult frog breathes with the help of its moist skin. Now we have discussed about frog and salamander, right? They are freshwater animals, and another term was also used for frog, which is, what is it called? Amphibian. You know that a frog lives both on land as well as in water. Now this thing is helpful in understanding this only, that an adult frog breathes with the help of its moist skin. Have you seen a frog? Its skin is so shiny and thick and very moist, feels like a slime. So when it is in water, it breathes with the help of moist skin, and when the frog is on land, it breathes with the help of its lungs. So it is having both, and both ways of breathing helps the frog to survive. When it is in water, it breathes with the help of moist skin, and when it is on land, it breathes with the help of lungs. Similarly, an earthworm also breathes through its moist skin. They are having slimy body, that's why they can breathe with the help of moist skin. All the mammals, including human beings, birds, reptiles, adult amphibians, they breathe with the help of lungs. We are having lungs, so all the mammals have lungs for breathing. They have two lungs connected with the windpipe. You already know about the respiratory system. So this is having a windpipe. We breathe with our nose, and the air enters through our nose, and then it transfers through the windpipe, and the windpipe is connected to the lungs. The lungs take in oxygen from this air and give out carbon dioxide. which is breathed out through nostrils. The process is inhaling and exhaling. When we inhale air, we take up oxygen, and when we exhale, we release carbon dioxide. So this was the topic, organs for breathing in different organisms. Okay. Some animals like whales and dolphins, which live in water, also breathe through their lungs. So this topic is covered. Thank you so much. Revise the portion and go through this topic.